Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video and another unboxing. Today we're unboxing the latest model from Baltany, and it's an homage to the A7 Avigation watch, which is a model from Longines. And yes, I said it correctly, it's not aviation but Avigation, which is like aviation and navigation mixed together. So let's open this one up to see what we actually got. So this comes with a standard leather pouch from Baltany. Here you have the papers for the watch, and sometimes they include a tool for the straps. The leather pouch can be used for carrying later, and here is the watch itself. Okay, so let's check it out and see how it looks in person. Let me just zoom in a bit, and here it is. So this, well, to be honest, is like a blatant copy of the Longines. Even the inscriptions are pretty much the same, with Longines only having Longines where it says Baltany. But this is one of the most expensive Baltany watches at $340, where usually they're between $90 to like $200. The reason for that is because this uses a Miyota 9122 movement that is actually visible through the back. So although it looks like the Longines and you might think it's a chronograph, it's not. It's actually a calendar watch, but an automatic full calendar powered by a Miyota 9000 series movement. And if you follow my channel, you just saw me, like recently I reviewed the Wise Flyboy, which is like a $700 to $800 watch that uses the same movement. It is considered a bit of a premium movement. It beats away 28,800 BPH, comes with both hacking and hand winding. And in this variant, it has the hours, the minutes, the seconds. Then you have the month register right here. You have the day of the week register right here. And here at 6 o'clock, you have the date window, as you can see. Now, where the Baltany made a difference is because they went with a slanted dial to mimic the Longines. They also included the monopusher function, but if you watched my Wise review, you know that this movement actually comes like this. So it's positioned like this. So you have the crown at 3 o'clock, and you have the pusher at 10 o'clock, which would come right here between the lugs. So Baltany had to rework the mechanism for the movement so that they moved the pusher for the month corrector to the 3 o'clock position, and when you tilt the whole dial, you get the same design as the Longines. So this is the crown to operate the watch, and through it they put a shaft and a little button that's used to correct the month, which is actually quite brilliant. And despite doing that, this watch does come with 50 meters of water resistance. Now when it comes to the specs, I'll have them right here on the corner of the screen, but I'll also cover more details when we get to the full review, which is going to come out in a couple of weeks. So this is just the initial unboxing and first impressions. The watch itself is like a combination of the two Baltany watches I already own, and I do like Baltany watches. I have the 1921 homage to the Vacheron Constantin, and as you can see, this is a bit of that slanted dial kind of design, but at the same time they use the numerals and hands that are very similar to their bronze pilot, which is another watch I love because of how legible it is. And this one has that same legibility, but it has the styling a bit of this 1921 with that slanted dial. Another cool thing that it shares with the 1921 is the steel. Now, I did a 6-month update on this watch, and in 6 months of daily wear, it hasn't picked up a single hairline scratch. That's how good this hardened steel from Baltany is. And I said in that video, I wish Baltany used it on all their models, which they don't. But this one does come with that type of a steel, which is why I don't mind the fact that the whole case is highly polished. As you can see, it comes with mirror polish all over. The case itself is 41 millimeters by 49 point something, and I don't know the thickness, so I'm going to have it in the spec sheet, but it is slightly chunkier than this one because it's an automatic and because it's a calendar watch. Now back to that calendar function. Because they did this shaft and this button through the crown, it makes operating the watch actually a breeze. So the crown is not a screw-in crown, and it's very easy to grip because it has this onion shape. So in the closed position, you can wind the watch. If you pull the crown to the first position, turning it one way is going to change the date. As you can see, let me just move the minutes so you can see it. So first position changes the date, as you can see in that date window. Turning it the other way, it's going to change the day of the week, which is this needle at 6 o'clock, as you can see. And then pulling it all the way is going to stop the seconds hand so you can set the time. Push the crown back in, and now you can use the pusher corrector for the month. So if you press it, as you can see, it moves by 1 month. So it makes the whole operation of the watch very intuitive, and I love that. Now, when it comes to the looks, like I said, it's a blatant copy of the Longines, but in true Baltany fashion, they really made an excellent play of the light, because the Longines one comes only as a white dial, white porcelain dial with those orange faux patina numerals and hands, while Baltany went with a black dial, and this is more yellowish. So I actually prefer, excuse me, the color of the markers and hands on the Baltany, and I like this black dial. They also offer a cream dialed version, which is more similar to the original from Longines, but I actually prefer this one. Very, very cool. Okay, let me put it on my wrist, which is 6.5 inches, to see how it wears. It does come on their leather strap, and their leather straps are actually decent quality, but they're always slightly too long for my wrist. So this one is gonna go on one of my own shorter straps. I'm just gonna see which one I'm gonna use, and that's probably the one that I'm gonna be wearing it for the review. Okay, so let me just strap it on my wrist, and we're gonna be back in a second. And here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist with under 50 millimeters lug to lug. It doesn't overhang my wrist, but it does wear quite large for a 41 millimeter watch. And as you can see, this is the problem I have with Baltany straps, because they don't offer a shorter strap version, and I wish they improved on that as well. Overall, the watch does sit pretty nice. It kind of has this, like, it gets wider at the bottom. I like it. It actually sits pretty comfortably, but when I put it on my own strap, it's gonna sit even better. It's not too big, but it does have a lot of wrist presence, and because of this slanted dial, it's definitely in the crown at this position, it's definitely gonna attract attention. Anyway, so that's it. I'm just gonna do a Lume shot, and since we do have the bronze pilot, we're gonna compare the two, and that's gonna be it for this unboxing and first impressions. But like I said, do stay tuned for the full review. And that's gonna be it. So let me just turn the projector, the light, so I can turn it off. We're gonna be back in a second. Okay, with the light into position, we're just charged the watches. We're gonna zoom in and let the camera focus. Now, despite using faux patina lume, Baltany actually has some decent lume performance. Like I said, despite being this faux patina. So let's turn off the lights in 3, 2, 1, go. And yes, this one is no exception. The bronze pilot has amazing lume, and as you can see, this one almost matches it. The markers do, the hands are just slightly less bright than on the bronze pilot, but trust me, in person, yeah, both of these are incredibly legible, even in the dark. Very cool. One thing that I forgot to mention, and it's not in the specs sheet, is the fact that these blued hands, the two here, are actually chemically treated, but the main one, the big long seconds hand, is actually thermally blued, which for the price of $340 is quite frankly amazing, and you naturally get a sapphire crystal. As you can see, it's slightly domed. Very pretty and very nice. Yes, it is a blatant copy, but I mean, it's a cheap way of trying this style, so I don't mind it. But I do have a bit of a problem. I own these two Baltany watches, and now I have to admit I'm liking this one a lot. So maybe by the time I do the review, I'll decide whether I'm gonna keep this one, whether I want to sell those, if I'm gonna sell this one, I don't know. We'll see, but like I said, do stay tuned to find out if this is gonna become a permanent staple of my collection. I do like Baltany and the value they offer for money. I mean, they do homages, they don't do very many original designs, but they do excellent execution of the said homages, and their quality has improved substantially since I started reviewing them. So I can't wait to see this one under macro to see if the quality matches their new level or if it's bad like they previously were. I mean, when I say bad, I just mean there are some scratches and irregularities on the hands and everything, like on the 1926, which was the first watch I reviewed from them, but from there on everything moved quite a lot higher, with this 1921 having one of the best finishes I ever recorded regardless of price. Anyway, so that's it. Stay tuned for the full review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.